Okay, in this video we're going to be talking about my build of the TTCombat Dinogas filling station, which is obviously just a petrol station or a gas station if you're in America. These are laser cut out of wood into flat packs, and you can build and paint them how you see fit. They're meant for 28mm tabletop games such as the new Fallout game, the Walking Dead game. I've never played any, but I intend to use mine as animation prop sort of thing, or a building, should I say. The idea behind it is it's obviously an abandoned petrol station that's been converted into an outpost, and then obviously had a ton of gunfights around it. I'm not too sure what you call these, but the petrol pumps in this piece are completely removable, as well as the roof and the back wall, so I can animate interior shots of this. As well as the sandbags. The sandbags aren't attached. Pretty much apart from the holes that I drilled in and chopping up the window frames and not adding glass. You don't get the glass to add to these, you've got to do that yourself. Although, again, as it's meant for a tabletop game, it's up to yourself to do that. Nice little nod to Fallout there. Oh, it's the bar and casino. You do get a full set of petrol pump handles, but I left a few off just to give it that post-apocalyptic look. The ladder is from a Zinge Industries ladder pack, as well as this corrugated metal, which I used on the back here and on the front. These log pieces were just scratch built. When it came to painting this, I painted it with a base colour of white, grey, and obviously you can tell the other colours. I then took white and dry brushed it over the lettering to give it that worn look, like it was fading away, and then went over the top of this with a black wash and a sandy coloured wash to give it that look. The black wash to give it a dirt look, but the sandy wash to give it that look like it was a garage that you'd see in like a desert environment, and it obviously had the dust and stuff blown into it. I'm not quite happy with it, but then again I built this a long time ago, and it's probably due for a repaint, but I feel I'm going to get a few of animations done with this, and then I'll probably repaint it then. The sandbags are actually 1/35 scale Tamiya sandbags. Again, they were just painted a sand colour and just had a black wash shot over them. Okay, so we're gonna jump cut here, and then I'm gonna decorate the interior with some of my other props, and I'll show you the interior. So for the interior, I painted the floor red, like a dark red, and then went over the top of it with a grey and just dry brushed grey in a pattern of where I presume people would have walked, as if the floors kind of come away and revealing the concrete below. And then went over the top of this with a black wash to kind of give it the dirt and grimy look. For the walls, I painted them initially cream, and then went over them with a brown wash and a green wash to kind of show mould. Again, I'd done this a while ago, so the wash isn't to the best of standard, and it's probably a bit too wet, but it does look mouldy and grimy, like a decaying building probably would. I actually added glass in the door here, and then went over that with washes, try and make it look like it was dirty. The props here are all TTCombat props, apart from the weapons, which are from Brick Arms, which is the Brick Arms Apoc SMG, which looks like the 10mm SMG from Fallout, and the Ripsaw, which is obviously the Ripsaw from Fallout again. Got a few nice little props here and just have a nice little scene. I'm going to go into more detail into the props in a few minutes, but as you can kind of see, nice little scene. This is because I intend to use this in a Fallout animation I'm hoping to get done by the end of the year. So yeah, I'm going to pause the video again, and then I'm going to show you all these nice TTCombat accessories. I'll go through each pack individually and talk about how I made them. So the first pack we'll start with is the vending machine pack here. These are obviously inspired by Nuka-Cola machines, but they're not Nuka-Cola for probably legal reasons. Instead it's Phoenix Fizz. They come with the doors off, and you can either model them with the doors on or closed. Now obviously for variation I've got one with the doors all open and one with the door closed and open, although I probably should have just had one with the doors closed. Another variation you can do is the back. You can either put the back on or leave the back off. Then to paint them I simply hit them with a base coat of red and white to keep with that Nuka-Cola theme, and then just dry brushed rust onto them and then hit them with a black wash. Right, so the next one is the lounge accessory pack. Each of the following packs comes with a radio, and there's two variants on the radio, so I may have mixed them up because obviously I just paint them all together. There's a busted up one that's been repaired, and then there's a one that's not as busted up, so I may have mixed the radios up, but you get a radio, and it's obviously quite inspired by the Fallout one. Again, we've got a couch, a chair, a mailbox and a shelf. Base colored the couch red and then used cream for the stuffing or the lining inside. I hit it with a wash. The mailbox I went over with a few different coats of rust colours and then hit it with a wash. The radio I painted the base colours, I hit that with a wash. I painted the shelf dark brown and then went over it dry brushed with a lighter brown and then put a wash on top of that. Right, so the next pack is the bedroom pack, which comes with a mattress, a floor safe, two different drawers, two suitcases and a radio. The drawers and the shelves are interchangeable, and you get a different combination, so you can model them open or closed, and I've just got different variation with the top drawers open on this one and the bottom drawer open on this one. Again, base coloured, washed, a bit of dry brushing. Kind of just wanted to get them done quickly. The next one is the bathroom accessories. So for this you get two bathtubs, two toilets, two medicine cabinets, a radio, two sinks. I think I was supposed to be getting the taps and the pipe for this one, but I never got mine in the pack. So I've just kind of painted this one as if, again, I'm using these as Fallout props, so I painted this one as it was a metal sink, and it was obviously just taken and probably going to be put in a scrap pile somewhere, whereas this one is obviously meant to be attached to something, which I'll just use blue tack like you saw in the gas station. The toilets are quite funny because the top pieces come off and you can see the interior of them. Not that nice, although this one actually has a surprise. There's a little grenade modelled in there. Again, with the baths, I just use a couple of washes to try and make them look really, really full of gunk and just like they'd never been cleaned out and never been cleaned. The last pack is the kitchen pack, which again comes with a radio, two fridges and two stoves. Now the stoves are modelled the same, but the fridges are modelled differently. One fridge is nice and clean and the other one's full of cracks and dents and such. So obviously I tried to make this one just like it was in a house, and it was more just got dusty, and this one has obviously been dragged out of a house and just being battered around. The doors do open, but unfortunately I think you're supposed to model the doors open or close, so they do fall off on mine. Obviously you get yourself, here we go. Oh no, it's staying open, okay. I haven't really weathered this bit because I was in a rush to get these completed. But yeah, you get two sets of trays on both, and you can model them open, model them wherever you want. But obviously, since this fridge is obviously being around and battered up, I obviously decided to break one of the trays. So yeah, that goes for the TTCombat accessories. So I'll do a little slideshow on the petrol station, and hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.